All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back to Web3 Talks. And this is brought to you by Web3devs. We do blockchain development and blockchain consulting. We've got three members of the team here today, Aaron and Brian and myself, Scott. And today's topic on Web3 Talks is we're going to talk about meetups. Primarily meetup.com, but I think meetups is just kind of now a catch-all term for a group of individuals gathering together to talk about some kind of topic. So just kind of go around the room and just what is your response when people are? I know we attend a lot of meetups on a variety of topics, so that question gets asked to me of what is a meetup. So what are meetups to you guys?
Yeah, to me, it's like you said. I mean, it's really kind of that vague. It's just people with similar interests meeting up at the same place together. I've seen so many different formats and so many different things, and I think that's actually one of the good things. That one of the things that makes a good meetup is some variety like that. For example, you know, the blockchain meetup here in Memphis, Tennessee, Blockchain 901. We have nights where it's just, you know, for the general person that's interested in blockchain technology or cryptocurrencies. You know, we'll have nights that are, you know, hacking sessions with developers, learning a new skill. And then we'll have nights where it's like, hey, let's be completely unstructured and just get together and have a beer or something like that. So it can really be any of those things. It's just a formal way to meet new people that have similar interests to you, in this case, blockchain.
Yeah, a lot of the I would say just anecdotally, a lot of people I know think of meetups as a technical and a developer technical topic arena or whatever, but it's not. There's like a French club meetup where people in the Memphis area that speak French all get together and have dinner and talk to each other in French, and like movie meetups and all that. And I can also share that, you know, this is a great way when you're traveling to connect with other cities. When I travel, I'm always checking meetup.com for blockchain related stuff and marketing related stuff, and then I'll see random indie film events or something and just be like, oh, that sounds like a cool group of people to hang out with.
And you always look for coffee related stuff too, don't you?
And just there's just not enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about meetups for me is they're just full of opportunities, whether it's opportunities to meet new people, network, just do something you enjoy, find other people who do things you enjoy, or professional stuff. Like I've met Brian at a meetup where I asked him for an internship, and then it turned into this. So, yeah.
This podcast. You asked for an internship, and I made you.
That's right. And now you're on a podcast. Now you're podcast talent.
And actually, our first actual intern with web3devs did basically the same thing. And I was working on a project that I could manage somebody who didn't know anything about coding and put them on free code camp to learn some of their fundamentals. And so I said, hey, if you'll show up while I'm at the office, I'll get you the education you need, you know. And we didn't know if he was going to show up or not. And then that morning or afternoon, whenever I started coding, he showed up, and then showed up every day after that. And Brian asked me a couple days or weeks later, it's like, hey, that David guy ever show up? I was like, yeah, he's been here every day. You got his first certification.
Well, that's actually you saying it the way you said it. One of the cool things about the people you meet at a meetup is they actually show up to an event, because like you know, in today's time where everyone's on Facebook and Instagram all day, every day, and like online more and disconnected with people more, I don't know, it's a big barrier to entry to get people to like show up at an event, you know, in person, especially when they don't know anybody going ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so if you have a topic like whatever, blockchain, Ethereum, Solidity, whatever, comedy, movies, wine, coffee, whatever you find on meetup.com or other similar things. Like, you know, that's a group of people that care enough about or have an interest enough about that topic to actually like get in their car and go somewhere or call an Uber or whatever. So you find some, you know, it's a cool way to connect with other people that are passionate or interested in those topics.
Yep. So I'm an introvert, right? So I'm not all about going out and meeting new people. I'm not a big fan of networking. It takes a lot of energy out of me. So my advice for somebody else who's like that, whenever you go to your first meetup, take a friend with you. There's usually free pizza and free drinks. You can just bribe them, be like, hey, dinner's on me tonight. And then like then we go up at a meetup. It's like, this is a restaurant? Oh, there's food here. Don't worry.
Hang out with me tonight. And there's 2 pieces of pizza in it for you.
Yeah. That's how I get most of my that's how I get most of my friends, through bribes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. If I had my choice, I'd never leave the house. But yeah, just it's worth it. You know, you're gonna have something in common with every single person in the room. So just keep that in mind. And depending on how it's structured, you might just be sitting there most of the time, anyways. So yeah, if you're on the fence like that, if you're introverted and don't want to get out, I highly encourage you to make an exception.
Mm-hmm. And if you go to some of those that are just meetups with beers or meetups with drinks, you become a little bit less introverted after a couple of drinks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, free alcohol. I mean, that gets me out of the house every time.
Yeah, there are plenty of them that are at bars or, you know, booze friendly, because most of them are after work anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we want to wrap it up there. You guys got anything else you'd like to throw in before we cut this one?
I was curious, Scott. Sorry to put this question on you. We didn't plan this ahead of time, but I know it's all over the country. You travel a whole lot. Is there any specific group around the country that sticks out as having like the coolest meetup group?
The coolest meetup in the blockchain context? No.
Oh, just in any. Yeah.
Man, well, I would say like not necessarily like it's interesting the difference in topics and activity between the different cities, right? So in Memphis, it's a very developer heavy. Just if you just look on meetup.com in general, there's way more developer things, specific developer languages and that kind of stuff. There's also you know, mothers or what outdoor activity stuff too. But to me, it looks very heavy developer. In Charlotte, it's a lot more like cultural. I think would be that like there's startup stuff, but it's like with connected with like film and theater and stuff. So that's interesting. But when it comes to cities that I've just looked up random meetups, or actually in Austin one year, I was just like, I was in town for a fraternity conference, but I checked Meetup because I was there for a couple extra days. And there was a digital marketer, like author, who I had read his book, and he was just showing up to like the Tuesday night marketing meetup. Like, would have never known that guy was, you know, presenting. So that's another reason to check. But the Denver area by far just blows everybody out of the water of the most like niche things. And just go to meetup.com, look in Denver and Boulder and Fort Collins and like all the surrounding areas. And it is just anything. Like, you can find something you're interested in. There's all kinds of outdoor stuff. There's all kinds of like comedy lovers, you know, just hanging out. But what really like kind of impressed me the most about the Denver area is like when you're talking about doing things online, there'll be like a Kindle authors meetup at a Panera Bread and on a weekday at 10 a.m. and there'll be like 20 people there. And like all those people are like publishing books on Kindle. And then there'll be an e-commerce meetup, and there'll be WordPress meetups and multiple ones through the week. But so I would have to say the Colorado Denver area has like the just most niche down and the it's what's really shocking is the attendance level, because you would think if you niched it down so low that there'd be like 3 people, but no, there's lots of people. So that's kind of an answer.
Yeah.
and yeah, so check your city, because like, you know, we have like a WordPress meetup in Memphis that's once a month. If you go to Atlanta and look up WordPress, there's like a North Atlanta WordPress meetup, a South Atlanta WordPress meetup, a downtown. You know, it's like every suburb has their own WordPress meetup, and so you could hit like 5 in a week or something. So it really just depends on your community. And if you don't see one for a topic that you're interested in talking about with other people, then just create one. You know, like anybody can go on there and be an organizer and just start it and see if anybody shows up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if there's one good way to get a hold of famous people that do things in your field, they're going to go to meetups. Famous people in your field do meetups. If you're in New Hampshire, you could have hit a meetup earlier this month, maybe late last month, with folks like Vin Armani on a panel with Roger Ver, and one other big name guy, I forgot who he is. Or if you're in that area also, you can talk to the big folks in the ANCAP community, the folks that do Pork Fest. They're up there. If you're out in Las Vegas, the people who do neuro-linguistic programming and stuff like that, if you're in that space, you know who the famous people are in that space. If you're into preparedness, the Dallas-Fort Worth area has some very famous people that you can just go and talk to. They're available. They might be like all these folks might be people that you can't hit up through email, but you can always hit them up at a meetup.
That's really good advice, man. You don't know who's going to show up, and you get access to people that they wouldn't answer your email because they just get too many.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. This has been Web3 Talks. We're talking about meetups and what they are. And so we typically talk on here about blockchain technology and how the business world's embracing it, and how things are rapidly progressing with those two topics. So if you have any questions or anything on this episode or any previous episodes, please drop us a comment in the bottom, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
Bye.